Perfect. Okay, we are recording. Okay, guys, I am so excited. I love speaking, especially towards the end of the month, because the end of the month is do or die time. Like, this is the go time. This is what's going to make or break success, make or break your business, make or break your month. And it all comes down to this moment. 99% of people are not at their goals with 9 days left in a month. You're still short. You've still got places that you've got to push. You still got boxes you've got to fill. So the difference between the people who do fill those boxes and who do still get those success when they get down to the last few minutes is the people who decide that they're going to do whatever it takes, who commit to not letting the timeline affect them. You push as hard as you possibly can. You leave the rest up to God. Even if you're 3,000, 4,000 away with 9 days left, you still sit down and you still tell yourself you can do it, and you still fight as if you had unlimited time. And that's what we really want to focus about, is we want to focus on what we're going to do to continue to finish this month strong, to still hit our goals. And as you guys know, if you ever hear me talk about anything, is it's all going to fall onto your mind. It's all going to fall into what you decide and what you're going to pour into through the next 9 days. When I was going diamond, I brought in over 2,000 in volume, which I know we've got a lot of people pushing Ruby, which is 2,000, but I brought in over 2,000 in volume in under 3 days. Granted, I'd had a little bit more time on, but I wasn't doing anything different than the steps that you guys are told to do daily. It just came with the determination that when I still had 2,000 plus volume to go with 3 days to do it, that I had to keep going. And guys, it's so important. I know we have so many people. I mean, if you have anyone under you, you are now a leader. And as a leader, we've got to believe in our team more than they believe in themselves, because starting out, a lot of us don't have enough self-belief and confidence. We're kind of trying this out to see if it's something we could be successful at. When I was going diamond, we were on our way to conference. I was in the car. I was done. I gave up. I quit. I was like, I have messaged everyone. I've gotten up as many host posts as I can. Like, there's literally nothing else I can do. I'm just not going to get it. And Katie was like, no, you're going diamond. So figure it out. And I was like, oh, okay. But it literally took just something as small as get over yourself. You're doing it, to shake me out of that. So it's really important also as leaders to make sure that we recognize that. We recognize when our team is close to something that they really want, and then we help encourage that. But you have to decide at this point in time. It has to be a conscious decision, not oh, it would be nice, but a conscious decision that at this point you will do whatever it takes to hit that goal by the end of the month. And then you have to have grace at the end of the month to know that if you did whatever you could, that is success, even if you fell short. You just have now a whole new month to do it and crush it, because you're coming with all that success of effort. But we have to make a conscious decision that we will do whatever it takes, not the bare minimums, not what we feel like doing, not what we have time for, but whatever it takes to hit these goals, that these goals are important to us. Whether it's a promotion, whether it's a certain income, whether it's, your first 4 customers, whatever it is, we have to decide that we'll do whatever it takes to get that by this date. We have to take quitting off the table. Oh my goodness gracious. Lord Jesus. If quitting's on the table, that is going to be the option you take. And coming from experience, sometimes you put quitting on the table without even knowing it. I was going diamond for 4 months, 3 months, like pushing, like it was a promotion month each month. And at the wire, when I got down to the end, I was just like, it's okay. My check right now, like, we're doing fine. Like, it's okay. I don't have to go diamond. And so I didn't have quitting on the table in my mind, because I was full-hearted in this business for the rest of my life. But because I had the idea that there was something that would be okay other than my goal, I didn't have the drive, the determination, the grit to do whatever it took to hit my goal. So you've got to evaluate where you're at. If you've got something else on the table, something that's putting that like, it'd be nice, but we got to take that off. Like off, like never coming back on our table. Because if you ever put your goal up against something easier, you're always going to take the easy route, because big things, big chances, success is hard. And we don't want to do hard things. We want to take the easy things. So if you have an easy option, that's what you're naturally going to gravitate to, even if it's just subconscious. So we've got to take all the easy options. We have to commit that we can do this. We have to believe that we are capable of doing hard things. And then we have to go out and we have to do the hard things. God's volume is real, guys. You'll hear so many top leaders talk about it. It's, God's volume is very simple. It's where you do all this work, you feel like it's not going to happen, and then all of a sudden you sign like 6 90 BV orders, or 650 BV orders, bigger orders than you've ever signed. Like, where did they come from? It's God's volume. That's one thing that's very biblical is, God blesses our hard work. So even if you are putting in all the work right now, you're not seeing the results. You have to remember that the same day you plant a tree is not the same day you harvest the fruit. So even if you're not seeing the reward, even if you're not seeing the enrollments yet, instead of slacking off, which we are so quick to do, I'm doing all this work, I'm working so hard, and I'm not seeing anything. I can't keep doing it this much. I got to slow down. I'm not seeing anything. When you're not seeing the result, that's when you should work harder. That's when you should plant more seeds. Because given a couple weeks, a couple months, you will be blown away by the harvest that comes. So, what specific things do we need to be doing to make sure that we are hitting our goal and or just creating momentum to ride into next month to hit our goals? I think it's a big thing with all of us is we're really scared to tell you to do something hard. Like, we're so scared that if I tell you you need to go do X, Y, Z, that you're going to think it's too much, you're going to be overwhelmed, and you're going to quit, right? As leaders, as in you have assigned one distributor, you now leader. As leaders, we are so scared to tell people they have to do hard things, to tell people you need to step it up, because we're so scared that they're going to quit. And I mean, they're posting every other day is better than not posting at all, right? But I think it's so important to be real. I didn't get to where I am by doing easy things at all. I did a lot of hard things a lot of times. And I think it's really important to realize that, and I think it's also important to realize who you are and what your goals are. If you're one of those people who want to take, first 30 days, my only goal is to get my first 4 customers, then you're going to be at a different pace than someone who's like, I want to go Ruby within my first 2 weeks to a month max. Like, I want to go Ruby in the next 9 days. I want to go Emerald in the next 9 days. Whatever your goal is, you're on a different level than the people who want to get their first 4 customers in their first month. There's nothing wrong with either track. There's nothing wrong with either approach. You just have to realize who you are. If you're someone who wants to get your first 4 customers in your first 30 days and someone's coming at you like you need to do XYZ times 2, you're going to be like, oh, whoa, I'm not ready. But if you're someone who's really pushing, who really wants, bigger goals in a quicker time frame, then you also have to be real, because you can't do just the bare minimums and get those goals. You've got to do the big, scary, hard things. This is one thing that I had to face with my business a couple days ago, actually, on the 16th. I went to a Triad event. I was talking to Pam Souter, our CNO, and everything just kind of clicked that I had really been sugarcoating this, that I was like, oh, it's okay. You post your 3 times, you add your 50 friends, you get a couple host to post, it'll be fine. And I realized that was the environment I was creating. And so we had to change some stuff. And we got real. And I got some girls that really wanted some bigger goals. And I had to step up and I had to get real. And so I've got some girls doing some X, Y, Z stuff over here. We've got, for those people that we got who are really wanting to push, and it's same with you, if you're really wanting to push, double your daily steps. Like, that's a great place to start. Get at least 1 hour of personal development a day, at least. But double how many friends you're adding. Double how many people you're messaging. Double how long you're interacting. And the scariest of all, get 10 host-to-posts up a day. Guys, I would not be where I'm at if it wasn't for host-to-post. Starting out the gate, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get 10 up a day. And let's be honest, nobody's going to get 10 hosts to post up every single day because guess what? We're all human and we all falter. But by setting this goal, I was able to average 10 hosts to post a day. So for example, for a month like this, 31 days, end of the month, 310 hosts to post. I had a bad day today, I didn't get any up. Tomorrow I got to get 20 or 15 and 15. And so it all averages up. And let me tell you what happens when you start doing that. Because like I say, I know you guys hear me a lot, massive action creates massive results. Also, action creates confidence where inaction creates doubt and fear. So when you're doing this, something just one task in a massive volume, one, you're getting a lot more notifications, which makes you feel good. When you open your messenger and you've got 10 people interested in the product, you feel good. When you go on Facebook and you've got so many people commenting, you feel good. You feel like you know what's going on. You feel like your business is running. Secondly, the more people you talk to, the more people who sign up. So you're automatically, you're talking to more people. You're going to start seeing more enrollments. On top of that, we grow our network daily, okay? So imagine if we're also growing our network through people who want this business and these products because they're commenting on our host to post. Those are the people we're adding. So now our business, the people who are on our page and in our friends list, now are more interested in the products organically, all by upping one single task. And if you guys have been following the scripts, guys, Lord help, thank you, Katie, for the new host to post idea she had, because I know a lot of us have been feeling like host to post has been dead. But you guys, if you are not using the simple little host to post Katie shared, I reiterated it on the team page with like super simple, no photos, have them use a colored background. If you're not using that, you are like sabotaging your business. You are stunning your capabilities because that is taking off. That is one thing that is working right now. And you want to stay on top of what is working right now because you want to work smarter, not harder. And so that is one thing you need to be implementing. In the post I shared, I also talked about how I do a second entry, which we can do 2 entries into the drawing. And so 2 to 3 days after they post for me, I'm sending them a second message saying, hey girl, how would you like a second entry? Just post this. And what I post is something about the drawing itself. What's happening now is my posts about the drawing are blowing up. So these people are now all gonna go post about the products, and then a couple days later post about the drawing, and then their people are going to go post about the products, and a couple days later post about the drawing. And I've now created momentum and this revolving door of people coming in, people wanting, people interacting, people posting, growing my friends list in such an intentional and large scheme of things. So those are some tools you've got at your disposal you need to be following. And secondly, guys, the proof is in the pudding. I'm not the only one sitting here saying this is working. I can see Nicolette's on here, so I'm just going to talk about you for a minute. But this girl is fantastic. She joined my team like last month, I want to say, maybe the month before, but super new still. And out of nowhere, in the past 2 days, she has signed 6 customers. 6 in 2 days. So of course, what are you doing? She's following the steps. She's getting 10 hosts to post up a day. And because of that, she is getting the enrollments. I know it's so easy to look at your leaders and be like, well, they do something, it comes easy to them. They've been at it longer. She's new. She's new and it's still working. We give you the daily steps. Katie takes time and puts daily steps on the team page. If you're on my personal team, I put steps in our team chat. We do that for a reason. We do that because those are the things that work. Those are the things that got us to where we are. So if you're not promoting, if you're not reaching the goals that you want, you got to be real because you have every tool it takes to be successful. You have every tool you need and every resource you could possibly want to reach the very top. If you're not hitting your goals the way you want to, that is on you because you are not utilizing and taking advantage of the opportunities you have in front of you. As soon as you can take responsibility for your promotions, take responsibility for your goals, things are going to start to line up. There's a reason your name is the name at the top of your chart. we all want to work a team, but even if you don't let that be an excuse. Your name's at the top of the chart. It's you're responsible for everyone under you. Go out, get those enrollments yourself, boo. You can do it. If you can sign one customer, you can sign 300 customers. You do the same thing over and over. It's systematic, it's simple, and you have all the tools in front of you. And I went so off script on my notes, I don't even know where to go back to. Okay, I found it. But lastly, we want to make sure with following these daily steps, because you do have a guideline. Corporate gave you a guideline as well with your steps to success. 4 customers, 3 distributors a month. Even if you're doing that, like, that is fantastic. That is your goal. 4 customers, 3 distributors a month. You are going to organically promote like crazy fast. Like, it's insane. I'm not going to pull my calculator out because I've done that before and I tend to get confused with math, but it's insane how like quickly things duplicate doing that. But if you are doing the steps today and doing the steps tomorrow and doing the steps the next day, but then the next day you're like, I haven't signed a customer, it's not working. So you don't do the steps. You don't do the posts. You don't send out as many messages. You don't get the host to post them. And then the next day, well, I didn't sign anyone. So I'm going to do even less. I'm not getting the post stuff. It's not working. Well, guys, I want you to realize that regardless of if you harvested or not, you done planted the seeds. You planted the seeds for those distributors. Those distributors are going to join the business. But whether they join with you or with someone else, that's on you. Those customers, they're going to buy the products. They're going to get them. But whether they get them from you or someone else, that's on you. 90% of the time, you are not the only It Works distributor on your potential's timeline. So you've got to be the most of something else. You got to be the most engaging. You got to be the most interesting. You got to be the most consistent. You got to be the most consistent with your follow-ups. I posted something on my team page the other day. I just signed up a customer. I followed up with her, I'm not even kidding, like every week to every 2 weeks for 6 to 8 months. She just signed up. Massive order. I would not have gotten that order if I did not follow up. Somebody else would have. And it was a big freaking order. It's one of the biggest I've ever had. And if I didn't follow up as much as I did, if after month 3 or 4, I was like, nah, it's okay, she's not gonna buy. Somebody else would be so happy with that order I did all the work for, because that's what you're doing. When you are sending the messages and you are doing the posts, you are planting the seeds. You're just planting them in someone else's garden. You're just planting them, you're doing all the hard work, and Sally Cute's gonna walk over here and just pick up a carrot and be like, okay, cool, this is mine now. You do the work, you take ownership, you follow up. You go get you them customers. You go get those distributors because they want this. Everybody wants what we have. They want our products. They want this business. It's our job to stay on them. Don't think you're bothering people. Guys, how many times does Victoria's Secret send you an email about their sales? Like a bazillion. And we don't get annoyed. Maybe one day, 6 years from now, we're actually going to go take advantage of one of those. We're the same thing. It's our job. You get paid to send people messages. Can you imagine how easy that is? So don't take it personally. Don't stop. Don't worry that you're bugging people. You are doing people a disservice by not following up with them. You are robbing them of the opportunity by letting them forget. Take responsibility of the customer, the person, and stop. Oh goodness, yes. So we're gonna go here. Stop looking at potentials as just customers and distributors. Look at them as people. You're not following up with this potential coffee order. You're following up with this potential mom who had a kid and she looks in the mirror every day and she just wants to cover it up. She hates how she looks. You're helping this potential isn't just someone who, no, I don't know. I don't have another example. That was a good one. So we're just going to let that go. But this potential distributor, right? You're not just talking to another 400 box that's going to help you get to Emerald and get to Diamond, to Ruby, whatever it is. You're not looking at a 400 box. You're looking at someone whose marriage is falling apart because they argue about finances so much. You're looking at someone who is about to be homeless because they can't afford it. You're looking at someone who barely has the means to eat. That's who you're looking at, not a 400 box, someone who needs this, someone who needs the products. And when you can put the value on the people, everything changes. Everything changes. One, you start gonna get, the value you get out of this, knowing that you get to be the difference in someone's life, like that's huge. Someone's health. You know, our products, like Mark Pentecost himself, he had cancer. Our greens is something that helped him get through that. That's life-changing. That's life-changing past the point of just losing weight. Like that's life-changing. That's the power we have. You know, there's so much power in that. So you got to remember the person. You got to remember, you know, all of that. And then the follow-ups, you're doing something to help them. You know, you see a friend in need and you're going to be there. You're going to be the one in the back of their mind. You're going to be there when no one else is. You're going to be there when it's hard. You're going to be there when they feel bad about themselves. We're going to be the one constantly reminding them, constantly showing them there is another way, constantly giving them that other option. So you're not bugging people. You're giving them an opportunity to change their life in some form with every follow-up. Guys, it's do or die time. We are at the end of the month. We got 9 days. You are past the point of being able to twiddle your thumbs and wish. It's time to get out there and go to work. It's time to put legs to your prayers. It's time to get your butt in gear because it's not going to work if you don't work. Your goals aren't going to happen if you don't work. You've got to show up. You've got to go and do. You are going to be the difference maker. You are what's going to be the determining factor whether you're successful or whether you don't. It's on you. And don't let that stress you out. Let that be freeing. That is so amazing that you get to decide your success. You get to decide your timeline. You get to decide your paycheck. You have 9 days to decide it. 9 days. Girl, I'm always here to kick your butt. Like, my inbox is always open. You can ask my team. I'm just like in the business of kicking butts. It's cool. But, sorry. I don't know why. The whole chat, that's what distracted me. But anyway, I'm wrapping it up because I'm already off my tangent. But I was wrapping it up anyway. I just had to make sure I went longer than the last one I led, which was 6 or 8 minutes. Because I didn't feel good, so. But I love you guys. And if no one's told you today, I believe in you. I know you're successful. I know you can do this. Now go out, believe in yourself, and just go do the dang thing. Just go do it.